Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rannasha and Frank casting Phanteks
Hello.
versus. Hi, Rannasha. We're casting Phanteks versus Shotgunbunny. This is game 2, and we're going to start the replay in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, we saw Phanteks basically dominating Shotgunbunny in the last game by killing all his probes with some Reapers. How about that?
Yeah, killing probes is an effective tactic. It turns out that if you cannot mine any minerals, you do not get a very big army. Who would have known?
Who would have known? Yeah, actually, so let that be a lesson to all you players out there. Watch this game and play it. So Phanteks now asking whether Shotgunbunny is a Bronze League player, and Shotgunbunny confirming. So yeah, he's gonna try his best. Now Phanteks complaining about the group partitioning, the group divisions for the NSSL. He's right. We've just randomly divided the players over the groups. We have not looked at the leagues because yeah, well, in the end, the higher level players are gonna win anyway, and so if we made different groups, one for bronze level players, one for higher level players or whatever, it would have just been like what would have happened is that the higher level players would have dropped out early in the tournament and other players would have advanced, but in the end they would have all got kicked out by the higher level players anyway. And basically there was no way for us to check whether everyone was in the league that they said they were, so we decided just to go the fairest way possible and just divide everyone randomly over the groups.
Yeah, that's the only real way you can do it, especially if you don't have any previous tournaments that you can base your seeding on. I tried to look up Phanteks on SC2 ranks just yet to see what league he is in, but I couldn't find him for some reason, so I have no idea. But apparently he is a bit higher than bronze because he was saying it was not very fair to be matched up in this way.
Yeah, he's now scouted Shotgunbunny's base, and he's going to be amazed to see that Shotgunbunny goes for a forage fast expand, or at least for a forage in a position that suggests that he's going to go for a fast expand. And he is saving up his minerals too, so yeah. I think there's going to be an expansion.
Yeah, so forage fast expand is normally something that you see in Protoss vs Zerg, and every now and then you see it in Protoss vs Terran as well, but it's normally not considered very effective, but very recently some of the Korean pros started doing it, so I guess there is something to it.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen it before, so I'm curious to see how it works out. He puts down 2 cannons at his front, so he really wants to be safe.
He's very safe against enemy Zerglings coming in. That's really...
Yep.
He doesn't have to worry about any Zerglings running through at the moment.
No. So if these Terrans come with some psi emitters luring the Zerg, that's not going to be a problem for Shotgunbunny at all.
Exactly. He can rest assured that this is not going to be a threat. One thing that's very good against Forge Fast Expansive Protoss is doing it is, of course, the Reaper. And we saw in very gory details last game how much damage Reapers can actually do. So if Phanteks decides to go for that once again, he could be doing a lot of damage, but instead he's doing something completely different.
Exactly. We see a command center going down at the bottom of the map. He might float it over to the hidden or the walled-in expansion at the bottom of the map, just start mining and throwing down mules there. It can be a very long time until Shotgunbunny discovers that it's there. Although he might fly his observer if he gets one over there to see. To spot the base, but we'll have to see if the investment for Phanteks pays out.
Yeah, when I saw the command center being built there, I was half hoping for a planetary fortress rush, but alas, there's no engineering bay going down, so I don't think that wish of mine will be fulfilled.
Oh, that would have been great! Just floating it over, building a planetary fortress. Yeah, actually, this is the exact position you would build it in if you were to go. And there's the engineering bay coming down.
Oh, let it be, let it be.
Oh, we're crossing our fingers here. This is going to be awesome. There is actually a cannon behind the mineral line from Shotgunbunny. So he's maybe worried about Banshees, but this cannon might in fact be helpful against Planetary Fortress if it's placed like in the back. But
no, I don't think so, because if you do Planetary Fortress Rush, you'll land it exactly north of the Nexus, and that's going to be out of range of the cannon. You cannot land in that area near the minerals anyway, it's too close to resources. So we'll have to wait and see, but we see that at the front, Shotgunbunny is really investing in a lot of cannons for his defense rather than units. So if it is going to be a PF rush, then Phanteks is really getting the hard counter build to what Shotgunbunny is doing.
But unfortunately for us and the viewers, it's just going to be a regular expansion. He's going to turn it into an orbital command and start mining heavily in this base. Yeah, he could very well get away with it, this hidden base.
Phanteks, how incredibly dull you disappoint us.
He just wants to win the game, doesn't want to play an exciting game. Alright, we get that.
Who plays games for fun anyway? That's just an overrated notion.
Yeah, exactly. There is an expansion for Shotgunbunny going down now too. This is quite a late expansion considering how he went for this enormous wall off at the front.
Yeah. The Great Wall of Shotgunbunny is completed.
All powered up by his pylons, and he's chronoboosting his warp gate, and he has 2 gateways ready to turn into warp gates as soon as the research is done. But yeah, he's also looking. He's already looking at quite a supply difference against Phanteks.
We are seeing a planetary fortress, just not quite in the position that we hoped for. It's going up in the natural expansion of Phanteks. It's already up actually. So he's going to be extremely defensive. It is natural. I'm not entirely sure why he decided to do that. He did scout the wall for Shotgunbunny, so he knows, or at least part of it, so he knows that there's not going to be anything extremely aggressive out of his opponent. Yet he decides to go for this PF rather than the orbital command that is common for the natural. Maybe he reasoned that because he already had this hidden base as an orbital that is unlikely to be scouted, he could afford to drop some economy.
Yep, we see Shotgunbunny, without knowing that Phanteks has a hidden expansion, also going for an expansion that's kind of hidden at the top. So both players are trying to get some advantage, and I think we're going to see a long macro game. And Shotgunbunny's already working up to Colossus. He's putting down his robotics bay. I wanted to say Colossus then. He's putting down his Colossus bay. Robotics bay, damn it! But at a quite vulnerable position. I mean, if one scan and some marines on the low ground, then he's lost his robotics bay.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we see that Phanteks decides that getting your 4th command center before the 10-minute mark is excellent timing. And he's making a CC in his main, and he's upgrading building armor.
He's actually making another command center, so he's going from 5 command centers. 6?
Oh, 6.
Yeah. Oh, I think this is going to be quite a long game. How about you?
What game did you pick for us? It's going to be crazy.
A factory coming down. He's going to have so much money, but I'm wondering what he's going to spend it on. So far, he doesn't have lots of unit-producing structures. He's just adding on more and more command centers. But
that's what he's going to spend his money on, command centers.
Command centers, yeah. You just flood your opponent with command centers. We see a lot more barracks going down now, so I think he's going to go for a mass bio build. And is he working on his upgrades? Yes, he is. So, actually, that was the building armor.
Yeah. So he wants all his command centers to be safe against any harassment. We see that there was a war prism that got constructed. Yeah, it's just floating around in Shotgunbunny's base at the moment. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it will do some harassment. It may fly over the bottom part of the map and fly over the hidden base if Shotgunbunny is lucky. We'll have to see for that. Yeah,
if he is, then he could just warp in like 2 or 3 units there, because there's no planetary fortress, and there's no way that Phanteks can really enforce that position. He doesn't have any Menefex at the moment, I think. No, he doesn't, so that will be a totally free kill. But if we look at the mineral patch, if you see that, well, it's not that they're mined out already, but a lot of the minerals have been mined. So basically, Shotgunbunny's loss has already been incurred.
Yeah, Phanteks is dropping all his mules on that hidden base because he knows that if it is discovered, it will be destroyed very easily. So he's just getting the most out of it while he can, while mining out his normal patches more slowly.
We see 3 Ghost Academies coming down from Phanteks.
Ooh, I like that.
We might see some nukes. There's no other reason for building more than 1 Ghost Academy unless you want to have multiple nukes in storage.
Yeah, definitely. And he also has 3 orbitals in his main, so he can scan and mule all he wants. All his barracks have gotten tech labs.
Ooh. Yeah.
So we are going to see something of a crazy game coming out of Phanteks. Shotgunbunny is now also populating his 3rd base. Not that many probes mining there yet. There's a factory that's going to float close by, but on its current trajectory, it will not scout that position. It will scout the regular 3rd.
Yep. He's going to land at the 3rd there, so Shotgunbunny will know there's a factory there once he sends in a probe that way. Wow. Yeah, the production for Phanteks is now really ramping up. He's building 8 Marines at a time. He already has some Ghosts out. In fact, oh no, that's a Marine actually. I thought one of the Ghosts was stealthily moving across the map. But there's personal cloaking for the Ghost on the way, as well as Terran infantry armor level 1 and weapons level 1. But Shotgunbunny has started his Colossus production and is now also working on Templar archives. So he is going for a build that can be quite strong against Bio with Colossus and Storm. But we'll just have to see whether his production matches up against Phanteks' production, especially seeing as how he's got so big an economy.
And the question is, how will his units match up against nukes?
That's also very true. And Phanteks has taken another base at the top, also ready to get muled out, because the base at the bottom is actually getting pretty low on minerals already. One of the patches is only 400 mineral left, 300 actually. So this base is going to get mined out pretty quickly. Actually, yeah. I think the supply the supply difference between Phanteks and Shotgunbunny is not that big, seeing as how the income lead for Shotgunbunny or Phanteks has been so big for so long.
Yeah, but he's spending everything on building infrastructure. Now he's dropping again 8 barracks in the middle of the map.
Right. This is going to be a bit of a troll game, I guess.
I think so, yeah. We see that Shotgunbunny is going for the Dark Shrine, so he's just going for the get every tech building in the game builds. I expect to see a Stargate and a Fleet Beacon being added shortly to finish it off.
Yep. I had to look around for the Dark Shrine, but it's at the top base. It's now finishing up. Let's see if he uses it to warp in some DTs right away. Oh, there's a nuke going off. Do you see where it is? Yeah, it's in the middle of the main base.
Oh, right.
It's not going to really hit anything. I think he tried to lure in the army from Shotgunbunny, but no, the nuke didn't do anything in the end. But there's another one coming right away. Perhaps he hopes that Shotgunbunny doesn't see the nukes coming down and moves his army towards the drop to try and take it out. But as long as the drop is covered by nukes, it can just continue shooting at everything that's around there. And yeah, Shotgunbunny decides to just move out.
Yeah, and this nuke didn't really do all that much. It scratched the paint of the Twilight Council. Yeah, it could actually kill it, but...
Oh, but there's a new nuke, and it's gonna kill a lot of probes if the probes aren't pulled. And there they go, the probes are going down! Oh, all the probes at the main dive.
Oh. Nice. In the meantime, on the left side of the map, the army for Shotgunbunny is starting to work on all these barracks. There's a whole pack of Marines standing just to the north, but they don't want to work today and decide to just stay with their medevac friends.
Yeah, there's plenty of production facilities where that came from, so they say, well, let him shoot at my barracks while I'll just muster up a big army. And the supply difference is now getting pretty big. There's still a ghost in the main base from Shotgunbunny, so he could nuke again if he wanted to. Does he have any nukes right now? He does.
He has to wait for some cloak energy to be regenerated. You need 25 energy to cloak, and then it drains energy quite rapidly while you're cloaked. So he has to wait a little bit longer so he can stay cloaked for a while.
So Phanteks Shotgunbunny is pushing, and he has some DTs in the mix, but there's also I heard a nuke go off. Did you hear a nuke go off? Yes, in the main again.
Yeah, it's in the main base again.
All right. And there's also some DTs in the mix by Shotgunbunny, so they're gonna get scouted by the missile turret at the front, so they're not gonna be able to come in. The ghost destroys the
there's
turret.
There's a flank coming in from the bottom on the army. And those Marines taking out everything.
Yeah, but there's no detection here, so the DTs are happily hacking away at all the Marines, but now there's a scan and they go.
Yeah, well, that ended that little adventure. Shotgunbunny was already surprised that it took so long to get a scan in.
And Shotgunbunny is still mining at his base at the top, but it's not mining that heavily. So basically he's still on, well, just over 1 game, because his natural is also not completely saturated. And we see a nuke. Yep, they're gonna nuke. I really hope he sees it, because if he doesn't, he's not gonna have many probes over left at all.
He doesn't seem to see it. It's
going to go down.
Goes.
Bam! Oh, that's 41 workers killed so far in this game, and none
he's down to 15 at the moment. There's another nuke coming into the Great Wall of Shotgunbunny, and generally walls do not do so good against nukes.
Nope. There they go. Lots of buildings on power. Lots of cannons die. And there's still a ghost shooting at something. Do you hear? I can hear it.
Yeah,
oh, there
it's
it
shooting
is.
at the Templar archives. It's the ghost that dropped the nukes.
Yep. Oh, there's one Dark Templar getting warped in. It's gonna take care of this ghost.
And there it goes.
Alright. 2 DTs have forced the factory from Phanteks to lift at the 3rd or 4th from Shotgunbunny. So he might just try and expand there now. But he's so far behind in probes. If we look at the units tab, he's at 17 under 51 probes.
We're going into the next stage of trolling, as Phanteks is just dropping down 5 starports on the positions where he used to have barracks with tech labs. So now he has 5 tech lab starports.
I
And
wonder what he's gonna make with that.
Shotgunbunny is indeed trying to fulfill the requirement of getting every tech building in the Protoss arsenal by adding Stargates.
Yep.
Just need to see a fleet beacon and I'll be completely happy. Fusion core coming up for Phanteks, so we'll have battle cruisers coming in just in a moment. And if we look at the resource count for Phanteks, he can afford to splurge a bit on these type of units.
Yeah, perhaps we're gonna get to do the fusion core dance if he starts upgrading. And,
Oh yeah.
and so many mules at the top position. I don't think Phanteks is gonna have a problem with his income anytime soon.
No, it's currently about 8 times as high in minerals, or 10 times as high as his opponent, just because of all the mules and also the SCVs that he has. 51 against 90 probes.
There's Void Rays coming out from Shotgunbunny.
Oh, they're actually pretty good against battlecruisers, so it's a good choice.
Nice, but did he scout the battlecruisers though? I don't think he has. No, he hasn't seen anything inside the main of Phanteks. So, Phanteks says, don't forget your expo. Oh yeah, actually yeah, because Shotgunbunny still hasn't taken his expo, so and the factory is now burning down. So he's just kindly reminding Shotgunbunny to take his expo. He wants this game to be as fair and balanced. He wants to take on Shotgunbunny at his optima forma.
Yeah, he just wants to prolong the game so he can get all his cool units out. He's not building any battlecruisers yet. He's first getting the air upgrades.
He's working on infantry armor level and attack 3/3 upgrades. There's more nukes coming in. So yeah, I'm starting to think that Phanteks may be in an unlosable position. How about you?
He's looking pretty decent. He definitely has options to win if he wants to. By getting all his infantry upgrades and the many barracks that he has. I mean, if for whatever reason one of his weird trollish things does not work out, he can always fall back on just making mass infantry. With his bank of 8,000 minerals, he'll be able to just roll over pretty quickly. Drop gets spotted by the army of Shotgunbunny. Void Rays are attacking the top base of Phanteks. It's not actually a drop that was going to do anything aggressive, just defend.
Yep, there we go. And defend they do. The orbital command remains, and Shotgunbunny now tries to get up there. Oh, great storm on all the Marines!
Nice.
But he completely storms his own observer to death, but he killed all the Marines. That's worth something.
Yeah, you gotta celebrate the victories.
Exactly.
It's now opening up the rocks to get access to the base, and Phanteks abandons it. 3 SCVs being left there, they won't be able to get evacuated, and the Void Rays will quickly melt. Actually, more than 3.
There's a sensor tower now going up, went up by Phanteks, so you can see everything that goes on around his main, his natural and his front, except, but not the units that are standing, just right above it.
Yeah, Phanteks didn't mourn the loss of his expansion for too long because he already created a new command center in the bottom and is flying it out now. Obviously, he considered that he hadn't built a command center for way too long. And has gotten back to that starting habit.
Yep. Oh, the first battlecruiser is now coming out. They're spawning just right across from the charged up Void Rays, but they are getting taken out now by the Marines.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised that he pulled back the Colossus because he could have done a lot of nice storms.
Nice storms.
He could have done a lot of damage to the Marines and maybe saved with 1 Void Ray that died. And he again keeps storming the Marines.
How many energy do these Templar have?
I think he has 1 left, but he had 3 full energy Templars or something.
Wow.
He built them already quite a while ago.
Yep.
And then just never used them.
I don't think he has a storm ready now. Oh, actually he does. Yeah, he's 1 storm. Oh, if he could feed back these medevacs full of Marines, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but there's so many medevacs and there's only 2 with Marines, so it's going to be
can you
which one is to pull.
Can you actually see which ones have the Marines? I don't think you can, right?
No, not as the opponents.
No.
So you have to be lucky. I mean, if you're very sharp, you can maybe see where they load into, but with so many medevacs, it's not really feasible.
Shotgunbunny has taken another expansion in the kind of the middle of the map, but he's not populating it with drones. Does he have probes? Does he have any probes? He's 24 at the moment, so
he's not really rebuilding. He's rebuilding them 1 at a time, even though he has 4 Nexi, so that's not entirely optimal.
Right, so the battlecruiser force is now getting quite shapely. He's up to 6 battlecruisers now, and there's 4 more in production. So it's
yeah, the Yamato cannon also being researched. Stalker's blinking up into the main base. Colossus joining in the fun.
Yeah, he might lose some of his battlecruiser production. This is he's actually
this could be an issue. Oh,
actually, Shotgunbunny is focusing on on one of the many command centers. or orbital command that
Oh, nice storms on the Marines that tried to take out the army on the low ground.
Oh yeah, I missed
There's
it.
a couple of them left, but that's enough to clean up all the Templars without energy. Command center is now going down, and this army will slowly whittle away this base. Remember that Phanteks got his +2 building armor at the start.
True.
So that's paying dividends now as he saves his buildings for much longer due to that.
And here come the time battlecruisers, the Yamato cannon, the Colossus.
The Yamato cannon, everything.
The Colossus
Stalkers were Yamatos.
The Colossus didn't take as much damage as I thought from the Yamato cannon.
No, it only does 300 damage, and the Colossus has, I think, well, more.
Yeah.
So it doesn't one-shot the Colossus. He did Yamato the Stalkers, and they went down in one go. So it's now 161 supply against 37, and that is often not a very healthy position if you're the guy with 37.
Nope. We see the 12 battlecruisers from Phanteks barreling down on the expansion, the latest expansion from Shotgunbunny, and he's just like, Darwin, what am I supposed to do against this?
Yeah.
One of the Void Rays, there's some Void Rays coming out, and they're heading off to the base of Phanteks, but now they're...
You don't have to see battlecruisers chasing Void Rays, but
no,
I guess in this game you can see everything.
Oh man. Yeah, there haven't been any nukes recently. I'm starting to think that Phanteks needs to throw down more nukes.
Yeah, but he gave all the tech labs to his to the starports he was building to make battlecruisers. He still has one tech lab on the barracks, but he's not using it. Also has one ghost somewhere. Well, it's a futile attempt to actually try to search for it. It's much more fun to watch the pretty lasers in the top base first. The Shotgunbunny destroy everything.
Yep, and destroying, that's exactly what they're doing. This is Phanteks says, wait, don't leave, I'm working on something.
He's making a planetary fortress. No, that's just a regular expansion, that's boring.
Ah.
I'm not sure what he's actually maybe he's building supply depots while he's not supply blocks, so he's actually trying to maybe write something with supply depots.
I think he tries to write NSSL, or NL.
Where is this going on?
It's in the lower base, in the lower left.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's NLL.
NLLS.
NLS, well, we'll take that. It's good approximation.
Very good. Yeah, it's quite close to NSSL. Yeah, actually, the S is difficult, so he's like, well, I'll just do the one with 2 L's instead of 2 S's.
Yeah, also he doesn't have much space to finish the S. He should have done it in the middle of the map. But there's a probe and 2 stalkers moving around, so it's very difficult to construct words with supply depots when there's hostile forces going around.
Alright. Well, thank you, Phanteks, for this tribute. Oh, there, the great blink. Did you see the blink micro? The stalkers blinking in and finding like these million supply depots. How much is it actually? This is
oh, look at the raised lower micro.
Whoa! Awesome. These stalkers don't know what's happening. All right. Well, I guess this game is over. It's a 2-0 sweep by Phanteks. Shotgunbunny going down. Do you have the results page open on your second screen?
Yeah, I do. But so currently, this group. Yeah, Phanteks with this win is now up 2-0 in matches. Shotgunbunny is down 0-2. That means that Phanteks has a very good chance of going through. Like we discussed, I'm not sure if it was in the beginning of this game or previous game, there's a possibility for, actually with the previous game, for a 3-way tie for the lead, and then that could end up with Phanteks not going through, but it's unlikely. And similarly...
Did you see? They now realize, Phanteks now realize that they misspelled it.
Oh, yeah, he should fly. I wish this was live. I could instruct him to fly over the battlecruiser fleet and destroy the supply depots to fix the error, but unfortunately this is casting for replays. But continuing on from what I was saying, Shotgunbunny is down 0-2, so a similar story applies to him, but the other way around. He's almost certain to fall out of the NSSL. It is possible that there will be a 3-way tie for position 2, 3 and 4, and then depending on the outcomes he may still go through, but it's quite unlikely, and it's also not entirely in his own hands anymore. Of course he has to win his last series, but then it will all depend on how his opponents play, and it's completely out of his hands, while Phanteks still has everything under control.
Exactly, it's not a comfortable position for Shotgunbunny, but we thank him nonetheless, even if he has to leave the tournament after this first group round. for his awesome games and his standing up against Phanteks, who played this great troll game, building the NLLS.
He did participate in probably the most entertaining game so far. Maybe not for the pure quality of SC2 action, but just random fun and trolling it definitely contained.
You're quite right. I really enjoyed casting it. Thank you, Rannasha, for joining me.
And thank you for having me.
Alright, we'll see you guys next game.
Bye bye.